Hello everyone, as you can see, we're still visiting the Schlebach company. We've now seen all the, let's say in quotation marks, simple machines. We've taken a look at an SPM 3080, we've checked out a mini light, we've seen how the seam closers work, and now Holger Bardeloch is going to show us a high-tech piece of equipment, namely the SPM TWIN. He'll explain to us in a moment what all it can do. I myself haven't worked with this machine yet, so I'm curious to see what's coming up. Holger, go ahead.
Yes, as you already mentioned, we're now standing by the so-called SPM TWIN. The special feature of this machine is that it has what's called a hydraulic separation after profiling. This is a twin unit which is available with or without hydraulic separation after profiling. As we already learned with the SPM, if I separate after profiling, I can also make shorter blades under 50 centimeters. If I separate, as with the TWIN, only before profiling, I again have the problem with the minimum blade length. That's why we have what's called a twin unit here. What's special about the TWIN, in contrast to all the other profiling machines we've seen so far, is that I can swivel the cassettes. That means I have two profiles in one machine. The machine is equipped with a standard double boot 25 and a double boot 25 with clip relief, with the step inside where the seam is free. How I equip the machine is ultimately up to the customer to decide whether they choose a double boot 25 and 32 or a double boot 25 with double under and double over coverage. What's important is that it only goes up to a seam height of 32, not higher. That's the special feature of the TWIN or twin hood. So the machine now also has a so-called setup menu, which I can select here on the touch control. I load the machine and engage the clutch. The machine now automatically pulls in the sheet metal, knows where the cutting is at the back, and automatically makes the zero cut behind the profiling machine. Now after profiling, we've made the zero cut at the back. That means the machine now knows exactly where it is positioned. Now I can program lengths here again, for example, 350 millimeters. I specify that I want 3 pieces of that. I want the whole thing to run in continuous operation. Now I switch the system on. Now the machine feeds out 350 millimeters of sheet metal. Makes the cut. Feeds out another 350 millimeters, makes the cut. Feeds out 350 millimeters and makes the cut. So now we rotate the cassettes on the overlapping side from standard double standing seam to clip relief. That means I move the drive side down here, rotate the cassette 180 degrees, lock it again at the front end, and raise my drive back up and secure my clamping mechanism. I secure my clamping mechanism. The same thing I just did on the fixed side in the direction of travel with the left side, I now have to do for the underlapping side on the opposite side. So now we've rotated the profile. That means I now go back to my setup menu, start the machine, engage the clutch, and the material is now pulled in up to the hydraulic cutter at the front, and then the zero cut happens automatically. The material is now at the front and the zero cut is happening. Again, we are making a length of 350 millimeters with a quantity of 3 pieces. All of this again in continuous operation. Now once the machine is set up, I can start the system and we cut automatically. So, and now you can see I have this profile here with the step inside. Exactly. With the TWIN, it's just like with the SPM. I have another cut beforehand, a so-called rotary shear. Now I can switch here to rotary shear and can separate all strips that are longer than 60 centimeters even before profiling. This way I don't have too much waste. That means I now enter a length of, for example, 600 millimeters here and also select 2 pieces. I also do this in continuous operation and start the machine. Now I've switched it to rotary shear, so it feeds in the 60 centimeters, doesn't cut with the hydraulics, but instead cuts in front of the profiling with the rotary shear and then immediately feeds in the next one, more or less right after. It stops again to cut. Now I carefully open the clutch and allow the metal strips we have just precisely profiled to smoothly run out in continuous operation. We've now separated them before profiling.
Yes, Holger, thank you very much. The swiveling cassettes on the SPM TWIN are a fantastic feature. And the speed at which it profiles real series production, that's really great for the workshop. I have one more question. Is it also possible to do a double underseam?
Absolutely. The machine is actually sold much more often like this combination here, standing seam 25 with clip relief 25, because producing a double underseam is not that easy.
Great stuff, cool. So that's it for now with our little Schlebach series. Holger, thank you very much. Andreas, thank you for having us here. I think we've learned a lot of new and useful things, especially when it comes to working with the machines. If you have any other questions about the machines or any other topics, please write to us. Otherwise, if it's about the Schlebach machines, you have 2 competent partners here, so please contact the Schlebach company's field service.
Yes, thank you also on behalf of the entire Schlebach team for allowing us to do this together with you. Thank you.
See you next time. Bye.
Ciao.